Hello and welcome to Authors in Espresso. I'm your host, Nadia Gilks, and today we have a real treat. Today's guest is a woman whose life reflects her motto, Live, Love, Give. Minerva Honkala is a poet, devotional writer, and humanitarian dedicated to service. She volunteers with the VITA Tax Assistance. She also has a program that supports Filipino students through scholarship initiatives that opens doors through education. Her latest book, Boost Me Up, Walk in Faith with God's Words, is a 365-day devotional focused on faith, purpose, and spiritual guidance, encouraging readers to pause, pray, and reconnect with their purpose. She is also being recognized at the America Prestige Awards in Hollywood for her humanitarian impact. Minerva, welcome to Authors and Espresso.
Thank you for inviting me, Nadia. It's a pleasure.
Yes, it's lovely to have you here, and it's wonderful to reconnect because it's been quite a few years since I've seen you. So this is exciting. So I wanted to start out with your motto, Live, Love, Give. How did you come up with that philosophy, and what does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. 2001, when I founded the nonprofit organization 501c3, named FASFOS in short. In long, it's Filipino American Scholarship Foundation and Outreach Services. As the name implies, it's all about services that we are about to give to our community and to the people of our communities. How did I come up with Live, Love, Give? I kind of just thought that being alive is to live. And we were taught that if we live, we must live a good life. And how can we live a good life? But love. And it is not just about loving. Love means giving too. So when you live, you have to love and you have to give. That's the essence of the motto, live, love, give.
Love that. And you mentioned your service, and I would love to know a little bit more about it because you do have a scholarship program and you have helped, I think, over 20 students at this point with their tuition fees. So, can you tell us a little bit about your scholarship program and possibly how people can donate?
Wow, that's very nice. If you're thinking about having me in this podcast so that people can know us and people can help us, that would be so beautiful. That would be so good. Now, this is a trifold flyer of my Filipino American Scholarship Foundation. And one of the programs that I have here is the scholarship program, right? Via Tamiro scholarship program. And how do we go about this? It's since 2001. So far, we have given 22 as of this month of March. Recently, last March 8th, we had our 25th anniversary, which is Silver Jubilee celebration, and also coincided with the induction of our new set of officers. We gave away to 5 Clark County School District graduating high school kids the amount of $1,000 each for the scholarship program. It may not seem quite big, but to a nonprofit organization like ours, which is just a small one, we're not big. We're just a small nonprofit. I think $1,000 can mean a lot to anybody who receives it. Of course, those kids need to be qualified. And how do we go about qualifying them? We have a set of guidelines that we use. First is the GPA. How much is the GPA at the particular time towards the end of the school year? So we accept kids with a 3.0 and above GPA. They should be of good moral character, never been busted somewhere. And of course, the economy or economical condition of the family is quite a little bit below or low income. However, we have some exceptions sometimes. And they go through what we call an interview, and they are interviewed by a panel of interviewers four of us or five of us. Then we sum up the results, and that's how we get our top five or top three, whatever it is. So we decide, the board of directors and the scholarship committee decide how many kids can we afford to give scholarship. So that will be on the basis of how much money we have in our coffer. This time we had five on March 8th, and last October we gave away three, which means to say in 2025 and 2026 alone, we have eight children from Clark County School District. They don't need to be Filipino Americans or anybody. In fact, we had some Mexicans. I think we had a Hispanic one time, and we had one Black American whom we gave. I think we had one at one time. So it's all for anyone. That's the
I love
scholarship
that.
program. Mhm.
Wonderful. Now, I would like to talk about your writing journey. You have collections of poems and you've written several books, and now you have the new Boost Me Up. When did you realize that writing would be a ministry that you would use to reach people with your works and your philosophies?
As a young growing kid, way back in the Philippines, I have myself involved already in writing in high school. I was part of our newsletter. And in college, I do too, but not much. It was not too much. I was just interested in writing poems and narratives. However, when I became an adult, like probably during my Toastmaster years, I started being a Toastmaster in 1988. And of course, you're a Toastmaster, you know that when you are a Toastmaster, it involves writing. You've got to write your speeches, right? And I started my writing through my Toastmaster speeches. Can you imagine receiving a GTM? You know that. And when you become a distinguished Toastmaster in Toastmasters, that means to say you have written and you have spoken at least over 50 speech projects, right? And that made me realize that I'm good at writing too. So I was practicing my communication skills through speaking in front of audiences like the Toastmasters clubs. However, because of that experience, words got to communities and some other leaders, and they said to me, Minerva, can we invite you as a speaker? And things like that. And I accepted because I love speaking. With my Toastmaster skills, communication skills, I said, I like to speak. And I realized that, wow, how can I put this speaking into the real purpose? Spreading out the words, because that is what was told about us in my Catholic, shall I say, my Catholic faith. In my Catholic faith, I learned that you need to speak the word, listen to the word, follow the word. And I said, wait a minute, I'm giving some nice words here. They are just like words from our leader, from our God. And I said, why don't I spread it out? And that came the idea of publication. I said, I need to publish my poems. I need to publish my speeches. And here I started in 2004 when I started to publish my first book. And this one, The Way to Becoming a Total Person. This was in 2004. It was published in Minnesota. And do you know that I was invited on TV to discuss about this one time in Duluth, Minnesota?
Wow.
Yes, I was on TV too. And I was also in the news. Somebody else also reviewed my book. It was a nice book review. The second one was in 2019 here in Las Vegas. I
Yes.
thought about expressions, impressions. This is just a small book, but these are all poems too. And the third one was the biggest project so far. The reason why I say it's the biggest project is because this is a 235-page poetry. And in here are poems and also narratives, a little bit of speeches to short story. And I have here the Emerald Verse Boosters. I call it Emerald Verse Boosters. These are verses that I created in my mind, and I put them into verses because just like what the Bible has verses too. I said, let me have my own moral boosters. And I said, these are the ones that I want people to think about. And consider adapting to themselves, because I said it will teach them good lessons and insights. So this is so far my biggest project. And this is from a big company, Christian Faith Publishing, based in Pennsylvania. So I spent so much for this. I'm not sure if we still have the book in Amazon. And the last one is the Boost Me Up. This is by AMC Publishing Masters. I think AMC is Amazon, but this is self-published. And this is a 365. This could be in hardcover or could be in softcover. The hardcover is more money. The softcover is cheaper. Okay? So this one is so far the one that I really wanted to be out to our young readers, because they're the ones that we need to take care of. The old people, they know already what they're doing. Maybe they still will learn
Well,
something.
we hope they do.
Yeah. And we hope that they have learned a lot already in their lives and they can, give them away to their children. But the young people who are still learning about life, they must read about this book, because this book is all about life, how to go about life successfully and happily. Yep.
So the Boost Me Up, the daily devotional, what what are some of the things that the reader will get from the book?
Well, it's all about reading the verses. Then the verses could be from me or could be from the Bible. And what do they read? They read, I explain about the verse, and after which I tell them to pause, to ponder, and to pray. It's a PPP. One of my
Okay.
friends said, one of my friends says, Minerva, I like that PPP. So when they read the explanation of the verse, you have to pause a little bit, ponder about it, and maybe after that you pray. And towards the end of the book, I have a prayer based on what I have written on the first part of the devotion. So what do I expect them to learn? They will be how to live their lives, living it in perfect harmony with the verses coming from the Bible. That's
I
what
love
I
that. And in this day and time when it's so chaotic and a lot of people feel so anxious, I feel like now is the perfect time to have a daily devotional, such as that, so that every day someone can get a nugget of wisdom and intentionally take that moment to pause and reflect on what you've written and then give them nourishment to go on with their day. And you said that this is generally for young readers, so that is your target market for Boost Me Up?
yeah, our even the young kids, I guess. My language or my English here are very simple, and even a grade schooler can understand the words that I say. And if they
Mhm.
don't, this is also their chance to learn more about words. They have to get the dictionary or go to the internet and say, oh, what is the meaning of this word? Because I still do that. Yeah, at my age, I'm 78 years old. I still have to go to the internet or go to the dictionary and find out what is the meaning of that word. So that's one of the learnings that our children
No
can.
one's gonna believe that you're 78.
I'm 17. Here, honey, look at my hair. It's white. I don't even want to color it because I believe that I just deserve to have the white hair. My crowning glory is my white hair.
And it looks beautiful. You look amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you mentioned about finding your purpose. Why do you feel like so many people struggle with that?
The reason why is because I guess they don't know who really they are. First and foremost, for you to become successful in every endeavor that you take in your life, you've got to know first who you are. Who am I? What can I do? What can I offer? Can I do this? Can I be successful in this? They've got to have that confidence. So the first one is the self esteem. A lot of our people don't know their value as a human being. You've got to find that value first. Am I okay? Can I help? Will I succeed? Those are the questions that they need to ask themselves. Once they know who they are, then they know where to go. Well, I can do this and I can do that. I can finish a degree. I can go to high school without any problem. I can socialize with this group of people. So knowing yourself is the number one prerequisite in order to know where they should go. Self-confidence, self-esteem, and then they need to be surrounded by motivating and encouraging people. And who are those, Nadia? Mom and dad, sisters, brothers, the family. The family is the core of our society. The family is the basic unit of society. Without the support of the family, it could be chaotic. One time when I was in Minnesota and I was watching that shooting in school, Columbine High School. Man, I was watching that episode on the news, on TV, and I thought to myself, what's happened? Where are the moms and the dads of these two young high school boys who were killing their schoolmates? What's happening? So to me, mom and dad are very important in a person's lives. Mom and dad. If there's no mom, then the grandmother should come in or an aunt should come in. If there's no dad, same thing. Somebody has to come in because it's mom and dad who will be able to bring that kid into stardom, so to speak, into becoming a great person someday, mom and dad. And what should be inside in that family? There is one God that they believe in. They say, you have to pray together. Play together means you pray together. You eat together. So in moments like those quiet moments at home, mom and dad, the family should be sitting together and talking, communicating. However, because of the media that we have, Nadia, all of those had gone away. It's really very hard. But you know what? Still, mom and dad can find time to talk with the children once in a while during the week at least. And that is to guide their children, especially these children are just growing up. They don't know what's going on. Mom and dad should be there for them. Okay? So
That,
family is very important to
yes.
me.
I see that you obviously had a very strong family foundation, and you're right. In a lot of families, that is lacking. But hopefully, with all the chaos that's going on in the world, people realize that we do need to come back together, center ourselves, and really be a strong family unit because we have to rely on each other. Nobody can make it out here by themselves. So, very strong sentiment that you share with us.
Yeah.
So, what does your devotion and meditation look like in your own life? How do you incorporate the messages of your book in your day to day?
My age now, and even when I was younger, I have, right now, I have a book that I am reading every day. It's similar to Boost Me Up, but it's a different book. I just don't have the copy right now. It's in my bedroom. However, what I do is I have a daily devotion every day. With my book now, I'm reading this every day on my free time. I'm a retired woman, Nadia, so most of the time I'm home. And during times that I am home, when I become tired, I lie down. I pray my Holy Rosary. The Holy Rosary is part of my life. The daily devotion is part of my life, and watching the daily mass on television. I am I am subscribed to my Paris church, which is the church at Centennial Hills. And every day I watch the mass. So that's part of me. I think when you're getting older, I think that's the way you become. You become more spiritual and spiritual every day. Yeah, planning to have a good life someday after I am done from this earth. I am expecting to be in heaven with God and sitting down with Him and enjoying everything because I know that heaven is paradise.
So your daily practice just has to reflect what you impart to others. I do want to take a little moment to talk about your publishing journey because you did mention earlier that your book, Words Speak Wisdom, you weren't sure if it was still on Amazon. And I know that we talked a little bit about your experience with Christian Faith Publishing. And that is a journey that so many people walk, trying to figure out the right publishing company and who to go with or whether to do it on their own. So you used a publishing company and there was I guess, a flat rate fee to get your book together and then a yearly fee to keep your book on the bookshelves. And right now it's not on the bookshelves. So can you tell us a little bit about that experience with Words Speak Wisdom?
I don't want to give any negative advertisement for Christian Faith Publishing because they did a good job with my book. It's
Mm-hmm.
really beautiful. It's really beautiful. But this is the most costly book that I ever published. And by the thousands of dollars. I don't want to say anymore how many thousands, but it's thousands of dollars for me to get in contract with them. And what they promised me are a lot. The book cover, the laying out of the pictures, the fonts, the ISBN, and marketing my book to many marketing agencies. They will do this and that. They will show them, they will advertise my book. So I believe in that. And so I signed the contract. I guess my book was probably done in maybe 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, maybe like that. And they were good at the editing. Well, there were so many editing done because, I'm a good writer. I mean, I know what to use, past tense, present tense. I know. So it was not really a big, shall we say, it was not really difficult for them to edit or re-edit my book because these are poems. So it doesn't really matter. Sometimes in a poem, you don't have to be perfectly grammatically good, right? It can also go anyway. So they promised me marketing, and I was expecting for marketing. And here you come. Okay, the first few months, it was marketed. It was put in Amazon. I was giving that 50%. If I buy myself and purchase my books by myself, I was giving 50%, which is good because the price of this book is $28.95 paperback. I only I only have a contract with paperback, not the hardcover, just
Okay.
paperback. Yeah. So $28.95 for this. So I said, "Oh my God, that's expensive. That's so expensive. How can I sell that?" But anyway, they took care of the marketing. They put it in Amazon, or I don't know if it's Amazon who is publishing it or it is their company publishing it, and then they just give it to Amazon. I don't know how they do that. However, as the years go, because this is 2022, I have to pay additional after a year. They were sending me a bill that I have to pay something like $200, $100 to $200, because to keep my book with Amazon. And I did that. The first 2 years I did it. The reason is because there's not so many books yet that has been sold. And I wanted really my book to spread out in the world, or in the USA at least. But last year, when they were asking me again to be, I said, wait a minute. I have to go back and review my contract with them. And I said, why are they asking me? Every year they have to ask me for a renewal of blah, blah, blah. And so I did not. And I realized that, man, that was something that I should have known, because I thought all the while with my big amount of money contract with them publishing my book, I thought it's covered, but it was not. The lesson is for any book author who would like to see or to have contract with a publishing company, you have to really go through not just reading it, but maybe discussing it with the publishing company themselves. Discussion. Because I never really asked. I just followed, I just read, and I just pay the money, period. And now I realize, oh my God. But anyway, I said, okay, why do I have to pay another $200 just to keep my book in Amazon? So I thought in my head, I said, I'll just find another. I think I can find another printer if I want to. If I want more copies of my book, I think I can get another printer and have them print my book. I think that would be better than paying every year just so your book will be in Amazon all the time.
Yeah.
That's the story, Nadia.
Well, I just wanted to make that clear because if people do go to Amazon, unfortunately that one does say out of print, but you do have a select few copies left in your possession. So for Words Speak Wisdom, people can get that directly from you and then Boost Me Up, which was you used a different publisher for that one. So that one is on Amazon ready to
Yeah,
be purchased as we speak.
that's
So I
right.
want people to keep that in mind. Before we go, there is something new that I'm doing. So if somebody met you and sat down with you for coffee tomorrow, what would be a conversation you'd want to have with them?
I will probably talk about some unsolicited advice. If you want advice, this is what I can tell you. I'm very good at that. Being a guidance counselor, being a mother, being a young widow at 40. I raised my children by myself. How did I do that? If they're interested to know, I'll tell them. And the first thing that I will tell them is allow God to be in your heart first. You need to be a God loving woman or a God loving man to be able to be happy in every aspect of your life. It's God. It is Him who has the power to make us a well or a full blown person, a total person. It's just God. So, in every aspect of my life, He has been here with me, and I owe it. Victories I have right now is all from God. Whatever pains, yeah, still from God. Because we need to experience a lot of things. Out of these bad experiences, we learn. That is how life works. It cannot be a perfect world. You may be a billionaire, a very rich person, but you cannot be perfect. These rich people, they have also their own problems. How you find the resolutions to those problems is what is your relationship to God? Because we are told, Nadia, you knock and you will be open. You ask and it will be answered. And you know what in my life? Everything that I ask for, God gave me the answers. And this is my life.
That's beautiful. I like to give you the opportunity to let people know how they can connect with you. Are you on social media? Do you have a website that you want people to follow? How do we find out what you're doing next and keep in touch with you?
My organization, Phil Scholarship Foundation, has a website, and it's www.passpos.com. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, FASFOS.com.
That's right. That's my website. There is a place where they can give me a chat or something or a question.
Mhm.
And they can also go to Facebook. I have Facebook myself, Minerva Honkala. If they want to be friends with me, they can also do that. But I need referral too. I just don't accept anybody. I need to know that she's a friend of Nadia or she's a friend of blah blah blah, and then I will accept. Otherwise, if there is no referral coming from a friend of mine, we should have a common friend.
Okay, perfect.
And if they want to learn more about life, about how to live a good life in this world, they can go through my books, go to Amazon.com and get Boost Me Up. This will guide them every day. This will give them a good insight about life, what they can do to become happy and successful just like me. I want them to be happy and successful just like me and you probably, Nadia. I know you're happy too. I know you're successful too. And so I know why you are happy and successful because I know that God is in your heart too. I can read that.
Thank
So
you.
number one
I'm
is
trying to get to that happy, healthy thriving retirement where you are,
Whereas
still
you're still
giving
eating.
back and
And you're
loving and educating in the late 70s, approaching 80s. So that's a dream for many people. Have a
you're
long
still
life where you
young.
can continue to give.
You're still young. You're still a baby. I'm already going there, and I'm already almost there. But I
Well,
want to live a better life or a good life. Once I reach that time when I have to go and live the world, life in the world is very chaotic, and what can we do? It's happening. The only thing we can do is just have peace in our hearts. As long as we have peace here, love, peace, love, and hope, then we're okay, right?
I love that. And you have lived a life of service and you have given and have a beautiful legacy already and still continuing to give. So thank you for that. It's
Yeah.
been a pleasure having you on Authors and Espresso today. I want to thank you for stopping by. I know people will get so much from this interview today, so thank you for your time and your expertise. I so appreciate you.
Yeah, I would like to end this interview with probably one verse that I can share
Please, that would be
to our
wonderful.
yeah. Well, you make your own life. Okay, this is the exact verse. You are the architect of your own life. You create, build, and design it. You prosper with your own hands. That's the verse. What I'm trying to say here is, you want a beautiful life? Do it. You
Mhm.
can do it. You want a successful life? You do it. Your mom cannot do that for you. You need to do it yourself. That is the meaning of that. So you create your own life. You want a beautiful and a happy life? You create it. You do it. With what? With what you have. So we go back to ourselves. Who are you? And what is your relationship to God, our Creator? See? If you look around, everything is beautiful. You have to look at everything beautiful because those are all creations of God. But some people ask me, Nadia, how about the ugly things? Didn't God create that too? Well, you know what? Those ugly things, it could be many factors to create that. But out of those bad things or ugly things, we learn, right? That's the reason why we have pains and sorrows. We learn from them. So we learn through our experiences in life.
Thank you so much. You are the architect of your own life, and everything is within to create the successes you desire. I think that's the perfect ending. Thank you
Very
so
nice.
much, Minerva. It's so great to reconnect with you.
Well, yeah, it's a pleasure, Nadia, and I wish you the best of luck with what you do. What you're doing is also a wonderful thing. It's still a wonderful world, Nadia. I still believe in that. And there are so many people who are wonderful and making wonders to make this a better, wonderful world. Okay.